Hello, beautiful frequency holders, beautiful souls, beloveds. Thank you so much for joining me for this frequency intel. You contribute your frequency to what's being offered here, how I'm reading the frequencies, how I'm channeling the transmission of energies that are available for all of us. And as I am offering these transmissions, these frequency intel, just as a reminder that whenever you are happening on to this frequency intel, there is relevant information and technology being shared here that can support you in where you are on your journey in this now moment. So if you're happening onto this live today, that's beautiful. And if you're seeing this a month from now, that's also beautiful. There are technologies that we need that are being transmitted through this channeling. So as I was tapping into the center, to the channel, to the Akashic field this morning, as I was preparing for this frequency intel, the frequency that I was shown was a tsunami. That's really powerful, potent energy. And the energy of a tsunami came in and permeated my being. And I had a choice at that point to go into my mind and allow my mind to define what I already know about a tsunami, or I could go into my heart and allow the expansion of a new awareness around what I was perceiving, what I was experiencing, and what I was being offered to share in this time space for our expansion, for our growth, and to support us as we move through these really unprecedented, challenging times here on Earth. And so I felt into both. I chose not to bifurcate and polarize. I chose to feel into both portals of my awareness to understand what I was being shown and the frequency of the tsunami. So on the one end of the pole is the frequency of a tsunami of destruction. A tsunami that changes the landscape as it infiltrates and permeates and shares the energy, the potent, powerful, moving force of a natural disaster tsunami. And I felt into that force of change, of rearrangement, of nothing will ever be the same after this moment. And that is true in each and every now moment, that nothing is ever the same. We so as humans have been trained to want everything to be the same, but nothing ever is. In this now moment, what is happening in this moment will never be repeated. And tapping into the other polarity of the frequency of the heart, feeling into the frequency of a tsunami. So I'd love to invite us all to feel into the frequency of a tsunami from our heart, from the level of our heart, from the level of all-knowing, from the level of accessing the Akashic field of compassion. And that frequency is permeating every cell of our being with the frequency of love. A tsunami of love. So that is the primary feeling of this time. This is the primary frequency. These are the primary frequencies. Both are relevant, of clearing, of rearrangement, and also the frequency of the permeation of every molecule, every peptide, every fiber, every cell, every stem cell, every atom, every particle, permeating us with love, with the frequency of the one, with the information of the law of one, of the children of one, of the children of the law of one. Those of us who are here on the planet as way showers, as light bearers, as change makers, as star seeds seeding a new reality onto this planet, we have the power of a tsunami behind us to create change on the planet, to move out of the old paradigms that are no longer supportive. Change is happening, and we get to direct it by what we focus on. So I'm encouraging all of us to focus on this beautiful frequency that's being offered to us, this potent, vital, alive, active force of the beautiful majesty of this planet, of a tsunami of love, and to diligently focus there in each and every moment, creating change, creating the frequencies of love, of support, of nurturance here on this planet that have been missing through our distraction, through division, through illusory power, and through this paradigm of competition and lack. And that's what we're dissolving with our tsunami of love, choosing to stay in the frequency of love and allow love to permeate every experience, every perception, every perspective, and every interaction you have with the people in your life, with the experiences that you have with nature, with the animal kingdom, with the plant kingdom, and with the elements. The wind is here to support us. This beautiful wind that is blowing through. And the element of the water, the intelligence of source that is held within the crystalline structure of the waters on this earth, the very unique structures that are here as the water on this planet are holding the consciousness of love. The element of earth, this incredibly nurturing, supportive, and loving frequency of earth is here to support us. And the element of fire, this light, the light that's permeating every molecule, is here to support us. So connecting into this power of love, this portal of love, this tsunami of love that is here helping us rise up out of the dense energies that are so prevalent on the planet and so easy to slide back into because it's familiar, because it's known. And so we have to focus and diligently practice bringing love to every interaction, every relationship, every thought, every action that we take. So I was shown a beautiful vision this morning of how this can work. And I want to share this vision with you so that you have an image of a new paradigm being created. So as I sat to connect with Source and meditate this morning and empty out and find my center and come into alignment and move into the highest vibrational timeline available to me in each and every now moment, I was shown a vision of a playground with children on it. And there was a child who was not as physically able as the rest of the children on the playground. And one of the other children approached her and saw that she was needing support. And that child called to all of the other children on the playground and said, "Come, our sister needs our love. Our sister needs our support." And all of the children came. And that's when I knew that I was in another parallel reality, and I was being shown a vision of what is possible for all of us on this planet. All of the children came and surrounded the child who was not as physically able-bodied as the rest of the children. And they chose to come, to leave what they were doing, to move into service to other, to move into their hearts, and to be of divine service to a beloved, to a sister. And they picked her up and they carried her to a place where they could seat her, where she could be cared for and comfortable and included. And they made sure she had everything she needed. And then they moved back and they stood in front of her and they began singing a love song to her to lift her into the frequency of love. So this is the image, this is the vision of New Earth, where we love and cherish and nurture each other, and we see our differences as opportunities to love and support each other even more. Just feel into the frequency of that. It lifts any low vibrational frequency that may be going on in the moment into the frequency of compassion, which is the highest octave of love on this planet. And this parallel reality that I was gifted the opportunity to be witness to, this vision that I had to share with all of you, is the vision that our teams of light, that the creator beings, that the ones that are supporting the maturity and expansion and healing of humanity are asking us to hold in our awareness, to focus on this frequency of inclusion, of nurturance, of care, of love, of support, of knowing that we are, that the child who was not as able-bodied, physically able to play on the playground with the rest of the children, is the self. It's simply another version of the self pushed out for us to make choices about, for us to interact with. And so as the children on the playground interacted with this beautiful sister of theirs, they chose love, they chose inclusion, they chose to support her and not to make her different or wrong or less than out of fear. So the frequency of belonging is the frequency of this vision. And the strategy for coming into wholeness, coming into reactivating the law of one on this planet. And if you're not familiar with the work of the law of one, I highly encourage you to study it, to investigate it, to feel into it, and to open your knowing, open your intuition, open your Akashic records, and open the awakening portal of remembering that you are one of the children of the law of one, that we are all one, that everything that I do affects the whole, and making the choice to come from love in each and every now moment. And to also remember to include yourself in that love. We're deconstructing the internal critic and the internal judge. Those two aspects of self are no longer beneficial. And by bringing love to the voice of the internal critic when it spouts off from the mind and starts betraying you and starts saying negative things about you, starts shaming you, blaming you, making you wrong, bring love to that internal critic and say, oh, beloved critic, thank you for trying to protect me. I no longer need your protection, and I choose to love you and dissolve you out of my reality because I no longer need protected. I'm no longer aligned with illusory fear, and therefore I choose to align with the frequency of abundance. I choose to align with the frequency of love. I choose to align with the frequency of vitality. I choose to align with the frequency of acceptance. I choose to align with the frequency of joy. I choose to align with the frequency of vitality, of courage, of aliveness, of willingness, of devotion to self and others. I choose to align with the frequency of authentic power, authentic joy, authentic self-mastery. This is what we're being called to at this time. You know, we have so much to look forward to. And when we focus on that and when we choose to create from the power of love, we become unstoppable. And our reality begins to change very quickly. We begin to become instantaneous manifestors because we are aligned with the frequency of our highest and most alive soul desires for oneness, for inclusion, for nurturance, for freedom, for self-expression, for change, for curiosity to be our guiding principle. And so I am encouraging all of us to hold this beautiful vision that we've been given of the children of the Law of One on the playground, caring for and loving each other in their differences, making no one wrong and everyone right, everyone valuable, everyone worthy. Thank you so much for joining me for this frequency intel and for illuminating your light and for bringing light to the planet and for doing the really challenging work of our own internal work, our own internal healing, our own internal transmutation and transformation into the truth of the self as love. So I'm inviting all of us to take time this week, and wherever you are on the planet, I'm going to be creating an activation this coming Friday, October 6th or 7th. I can't remember which date that this Friday is, at 6 p.m. Mountain Time in the U.S. And I would love for you to join me in creating a circle of a tsunami of love and broadcasting it out into the collective to support our dear brothers and sisters who are struggling, who are still in the paradigm of fear, who are still in the paradigm of lack and suppression and shame, so that we can create that playground in the vision, in reality. So please consider joining me at 6 p.m. Mountain Time this coming Friday, October 6th or 7th. for a circle of a tsunami of love. And we'll go for about 30 minutes. And we will sit in recognition of calling this vision forth and permeating the planet with the frequency of love. All right, my beautiful friends, my beloveds, thank you so much for joining me on this frequency intel. Your contribution is monumental. I love you infinitely. I love you timelessly, ceaselessly, abundantly. And I'll see you next week on the frequency intel. And if you feel called to share this frequency intel with your beloveds, with your communities, with your friends, with your families, I am so grateful for you helping to share this frequency intel. And I am so devoted to raising the frequency on the planet by raising my own frequency and sharing the frequency of love with everyone I come into contact with, knowing that they are me.